All I want is to heal. Oh yeah. All I want, all I need is heal. All I wanna do is heal. Oh yeah. All I want. Come on into the building. All I wanna do is heal. Heal. Come on into the building. Put I'm present in the chat. Put I'm present in the chat. You got to be present. You got to be present in order to get this present. Yes, sir. You got to be present in order to get this present. That's just how a TIE. You got to be present in order to get this present. All I want to do is heal. All I want to do is heal. Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm none other than your homie HerbMan. We're coming live from South Africa, you guys, live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Go get somewhere, get situated. This is where we teach you how to heal yourself, and you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we're going to make sure we teach you about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to the happiness and the wholeness and the wellness that we all deserve. Put in the chat, somebody say, I deserve it, okay? If you believe it, you deserve it. If you can believe it, you can deserve it. If you believe it, you can deserve it. We want you to understand that if you can believe it, you can magnetically allow this thing to happen for you and to you. Okay? Today, I want to discuss with you guys about two things. Your red blood cells and your white blood cells. Okay. Now, when you're getting your comprehensive metabolic panel, you got to know the difference between these two things you got. You got to know the difference between these two things, okay? If you're failing to understand the difference between your red blood cells and your white blood cells, this is going to be very critical of why you can't understand what's going on in your body, okay? And why you can't understand how to make the things work that you are intaking in the body, okay? And so this is no difference than what we would call transport versus defense. Now, You guys are with me. Y'all know how we do this. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. You guys, look, this is free information. You don't have to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. I'm going to teach you how to hear yourself. Look, the future of medicine is no medicine at all, okay? We are not going to have to be bogged down with a lot of this inorganic, isolated, reductionist system that we partake in today. In the future, you're going to know enough about your body to be able to heal most issues that befall you. And that's the thing that they don't want you to know, because obviously the medical facility, along with the food industry, is together diabolically crippling the American workforce. Okay. And so you got so much time missing out of work, it ain't really good for the workforce. And also, it's not, and the insurance companies are now taking over the spot and now in cahoots with food and the drug administrations and the health and all that type of stuff to keep you in this loop. So if you don't figure out how to hear yourself, then guess what? You're going to run into issues from these two categories right here, because this is the blood. Somebody put in the chat, the blood, okay? The blood has two oppositions, or it has two opposing, or it has two functions, however you want to see it. But the blood got two functions, okay? And one of them is transport and the other one is defense. Now, which one do you think is the transport? Somebody let me know. I know I asked that a long time ago, but I got on my soapbox. What's going on, G-Man and Chopper? Which one of these is the transport? Which one of these is the defense? Anybody know? Okay, Manissa said red is the transport. That is correct. Okay, that is correct. Now, the next question is, before we move on, if this is transport, we know that this is defense. What is this transporting? What mineral is this transporting? So we can go on and get the mineral out of the way. What are we transporting? Anybody know? Keep tapping the screen, you guys. I'll keep talking. What are we transporting? Manissa said iron. That is correct. Okay. So this is going to be transporting iron. So now, what is the most valuable mineral? All minerals are valuable, but what is the most valuable mineral? Who wins the MVM? The most valuable mineral for your red blood cells. Anybody know that? Who wins? Who is the MVM, the most valuable mineral of your red blood cells? Somebody said magnesium. Why would magnesium be there? Somebody said calcium. Why would calcium be? Somebody said oxygen. Why would oxygen be? I said mineral, right? So the most valuable mineral to your red blood cells is iron. It's transporting iron. Or iron is the transportation for another one, right? So you transport the iron, but the iron got to transport the oxygen. Okay, but both of them got to get to the same location. Okay, same thing with this right here. What is the most valuable mineral, the MVM, to your white blood cell? Okay, once we get this out of the way, we'll go ahead and get into it. I need to get this out of the way. Okay, the most valuable mineral here is the iron, which is going to transport. Without the proper amount of iron, you don't get the proper amount of oxygen. Everybody get that? Let me pause for a minute so y'all can get this and understand this. Iron is the MVM. Without the proper amount of iron, you won't get the proper amount of oxygen. So iron has to be the transport, the carts. So you got to put oxygen in those carts. If you have less cart, you got less oxygen. Iron is the most valuable mineral to the red blood cell, the MVM. Okay, the most valuable mineral. What is the most valuable mineral when we come to your white blood cells? Anybody know? Don't guess though. Tell it to me with confidence. Don't guess. Are you sure that it's zinc? Okay. Are you sure that it's zinc? Okay. That is the most valuable player to your white blood cells. Okay. So now red blood cells is going to equal what I like to call inflammation. You guys keep tapping, I'm going to keep talking. What is this going to be? So if this is inflammation, which one is this one? Anybody know? Take a stab at it, okay? If that one is inflammation, right? So how your iron goes is going to be conducive to inflammation, okay? But what is this one? How your white blood cells go is going to be conducive to, it starts with an I. I'll give you a hint. It starts with an I. You got inflammation and you have, what's the other I? Come on, somebody. I'm teaching you today, okay? Because you got to understand that your entire health can be understood through these two major forces in your blood. Thank you, Manissa. It's infection, all right? Infection. Okay? So, where this goes up and down will constitute an inflammatory issues. Now, both of these, okay? Both of these are conducive to what system in the body? It also starts with an I. Inflammation and infections is going to produce what kind of response? There you go, Tutu. Immunity, right? So this is your immune. But we also got to put lymphatic. The immune lymphatic system is what's controlling both of these. Now remember that your circulatory system is like 3 wires, okay? Okay? This outside one is going to be the arteries. How you understand arteries is that arteries will take blood away. A for away, okay? A for away. You guys keep tapping, I'm going to keep talking, okay? And then you got the veins. The veins are your veneous, okay? Veins are going to take things what? To the heart, okay? And then your lungs is up here with the pulmonary artery providing the oxygen, okay? Right? And then this third one right here is the lymphatic system, this one in the middle. Okay? So just like the wires behind your wall, you got 3 things. You got a neutral, you got the one with the load on it, you got a ground. Well, in your circulatory system, you got the artery, the lymphatic system, and the vein. Okay? And the lymphatic is sitting in the middle, sifting. Got these little arms on it that allowing the big particles, the toxins, to go inside of the lymphatic system and go to your lymph nodes and get taken care of there. So at the end of the day, inflammation and infections are having an immune or lymphatic response. So when you say mucus, how many people know what the other word for mucus is? Put it in the chat, please. Because I don't want to get y'all mixed up. I want to make sure that you're knowing exactly what you're talking about. So when you say mucus, you're talking about this system right here, correct? When you say mucus, you're talking about this system right here, correct? Lymphatic system. Anybody know that? That's correct, right? Yeah. So therefore, inflammations and infections have a situation on your immune system, your immune response, aka your lymphatic system response. Okay, that's how this is going to happen. So now you understand those things. Let's move on a little bit further. Okay, again, these things are going to be very important for you to understand for the entirety of your, once you get how this body works, okay, you'll be able to understand what side to deal with stuff on. One of these is going to help move something. The other one is going to help protect something. Somebody put in the chat, move and protect. Move and protect. Some of our issues are happening because movement has slowed down. Your flow has slowed down. Your waters have been obstructed or have been, there's a dam been built in your flow. One of them is going to move and the other is going to protect. Red blood cells carry life. White blood cells protect life itself. Okay? And so when we start off, we want to talk to you about the carrier, right? This is red blood cell, RBC. You get this again in your comprehensive metabolic panel when you go to your doctor. Y'all just need to learn how to read it. So you'll know that if your red blood cells are off, sickle cell get what? What is the main symptom for sickle cell anemia? First of all, it's a red blood cell issue that's caused a lot of inflammation. These red blood cells are also named erythrocytes. Okay? Erythrocytes. All right? And all they do is transport the oxygen and nutrients throughout the body. It transports oxygen and nutrients throughout the body. So if a organ fail, if you have organ failure, it's probably because it's offline in the mind or in the brain. And so therefore there is no oxygen or nutrients that's slated to be delivered to that organ. But some of you guys got organs that are still online, but you're getting them removed. If you keep the organ there, as long as it's online in the brain, oxygen and nutrients will get there. And this is how rejuvenation of a kidney, a liver, a lung, or whatever else you got can start to recalibrate itself, as long as it's online in the brain. Now, some of you guys got eyes that's been gone. You got ear loss, hear loss that's been gone. Some of you got limbs that's been gone. Some of you got organs that's been gone. That means that it's offline in the brain. If it's offline in the brain, then there's no oxygen and nutrients going to be transported to there. You're not on the food list, okay? All right. You don't get no free food at this school, okay? When you're no longer online in the brain. When the brain has deemed that that organ no longer works, it will cease food and oxygen go into that area, and it will allocate that food and oxygen to other places in the body. Okay, you got to understand that. All right, red blood cells carry oxygen from your lungs to the tissues in your body. Red blood cells also carry the carbon dioxide from the tissues back to the lungs to be dispelled. You didn't know that, did you? It don't just carry oxygen to the lungs, that from the lungs to the tissues. It also going to handle that waste product, all right? And then take that back, that carbon dioxide, and take that back to the lungs to be dispelled in your breathing. Red blood cells. They're responsible for energy production. Oh, I'm low in energy. I'm lethargic. They're responsible for your cellular function and your vitality. Okay? That blood pressure, that blood sugar, that high cholesterol, your energy levels, your kidneys, your adrenals, your heart, got a lot to do with your circulatory system, your blood vessels, your oxygen delivery has a lot to do with your red blood cells. And when your red blood cells are functioning low, then you'll feel fatigue and you'll feel weak. You'll feel brain fog. You'll feel shortness of breath. Because again, if iron is low, the oxygen transport is low. And if oxygen doesn't flow, everything in your life will slow down. Okay? Everything in your life will slow down. Now, when we're talking about the white blood cells, we're talking about the protectors. Okay? These are the carriers and the protectors of the body, which we call the leukocytes. One is called the erythrocytes. This one is called the leukocytes, okay? Leukocytes, leukocytes, okay? These are your white blood cells, my friends, all right? These are the ones that everybody love to talk about, okay? Let me see if I can get a receipt for you here. You guys keep tapping, I'm gonna keep talking. All right? So these are the ones, okay? These are going to be your lymphocytes, your neutrophils, your basophils, your eosinophils, your natural killer cells. I mean, you name it. That's what this is all about when we're talking about the leukocytes, okay? They defend the body against any types of threats, okay? They defend the body against any types of threats, right? So you got an army, a navy, an air force. You got a Coast Guard, you got a National Guard, you got everybody in the body. And they're going to detect invaders. They're going to attack pathogens. They're going to regulate your immune system and your immune response. I'm sorry. And so when you're looking at neutrophils, these are your first responders. When you look at lymphocytes, this is for your memory and your long-term defense, right? So this is for like when we get chicken pox and shingles and herpes simplex 1 and herpes simplex 2. All of that stuff is controlled by lymphocytes. This is what we try to work with for that memory, which is what you would call the antigens and all that type of stuff. That they use that terminology, antigens. It's the whole memory of something that you used to have for long-term defense. So we try to get these up in your blood in order for you not to have those reactions anymore. Monocytes, they come in and they clean up all that dead cellular debris, okay? And they repair the cell if need be. These are your mechanics, all right? The monocytes are your mechanics. The lymphocytes are for your long-term immune response, the health of your immune system long-term, right? As far as how it responds, how it remembers certain things that coming into your circumference, pathogens, viruses, bacterial, parasitic, or any kind of fungal. It'll remember. That's lymphocytes. Okay. Somebody put this in the chat. Lymphocytes for memory, monocytes for repair and cleanup, neutrophils as my first responder. So most of the time, if somebody get past your first responder, what would be the problem? Really quick, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. If somebody was able to pass your first responder, what is the problem? Anybody know? You guys keep tapping. I'm gonna keep talking. Thank you. Welcome, YouTubers. Yes, sir. Come on in the building. If somebody get past my first responders, what is the problem? If neutrophils is the first responder, if somebody get past my first responder, what's the problem? Need some zinc. Nah, you got to find zinc in food anyway. We don't do zinc off the shelf. So you got to find out what herbs that will give you zinc. Okay? But no, that's not it. If somebody get past your first responder, then the problem is your first responder. Duh. Okay? If anything get past your neutrophils, the problem is your neutrophils. Everybody get that. Put some ones in the chat if y'all get that, please. We try to get this thing very, very simplified. I don't want y'all to get overwhelmed with what we're talking about here, okay? If somebody get past your first responder, it's a problem with your first responder. If somebody get past your neutrophils, it's a problem with your neutrophils, okay? If somebody get past the wall, then where my defense got penetrated is at its weakest point. So wherever the defense got penetrated, if they climb over your wall, which is your neutrophils, then your wall wasn't strong enough. The wall unit ain't fine like you thought it was. It's not as wherever the infiltration comes in that's where the weakest thing is at. Okay? So now you understanding that, right? So now you understanding that, where can you categorize your issue? If anybody got issues in the blood, where can you cut now? Can you start to categorize? Can you start to say, okay, well, this look like it's going to be on the white blood cell side or the red blood cell side? Can anybody start to see that? Whether if I can start to identify, is this an infection or an inflammatory issue? Does this hurt me or does this make me sick? Y'all get that? Did y'all just get that? Does it hurt or does it make you sick? Or both? 3 choices. Does it hurt? Does it make you sick? Or both? Okay? And the systems that are most influenced by white blood cells is going to be your immune system. The system that is most influenced by the red blood cell is the circulatory system, right? And we know that immune lymphatic system going to have your lymph nodes there. We know there's a lot of people don't talk about the spleen, but the spleen is your blood bank, okay? So you definitely want to have your spleen operating very good if you want to fight off infections, viruses, bacteria, all those types of things, right? The lymphatic system and the immune system is also good for your immune signaling. Where does most of your immune system lie in? What system? Even though this is the immune system, lymphatic system, over 80% of it is where? Over 80% of it is located where? This is your immune lymphatic. Over 80% of it is located where? In the endocrine system. No, that is not correct. Anybody else? Big C. There you go, Big C. There you go, Big C, Barbie baby. Yes, y'all go follow Big C, Barbie baby. 80% of it is located in the digestive system. Okay? So this is why they say that the gut is the root of the cause of the problem, not because of your digestive system, but because of its connection with the immune system. Okay? 80% of your immunity is here. It's in the digestive system. If you don't know that, then that's when you got to understand about the diet. That's the biggest part about the diet, is what goes into the stomach can start to suppress or overactivate the lymphatic system. How do I know if I'm getting overactive? If you're having bouts of constipation, you can start getting gut permeability, aka leaky gut, and then you can start getting an overactive immune system, which will cause two things. Overactive immune system will cause allergies. If you're dealing with an allergy problem, you have an overactive immune system. Okay? If you're dealing with autoimmune diseases, you would be considered to have a overactive immune system. So if it's overactive, what I need to do? Relax it. Bring it down some. Now I know what herbs to take. Let me keep it moving, okay? You guys keep typing, I'm gonna keep talking. So when the white blood cells activity is high, you can also get inflammation. When the white blood cells activity is high, overactivity, you can get inflammation as well from that. Again, you can get the autoimmune responses because some of those autoimmune responses will be painful. And you can also get the stress, the chronic stress state, when the white blood cell is high. Okay? Everybody get that so far? So overactivity and underactivity. Underactivity of the iron, overactivity of the immune system, overactivity of the red blood cell. Too much defense, you guys, can cause a problem as well. Okay? If you got too much defense, then it's going to cause self-attack, aka autoimmune disease, aka a overactive immune system. Too much defense can become self-attack. Okay? This is where you got to understand that the owner's manual, okay, for that little funky measly $50, the owner's manual comes in and it starts to get you to understand how powerful our teaching is as far as categorizing you and getting you to understand exactly where you are in time and space so that we can understand which one of these is causing you the ill or if it's both of them. Okay? So if you guys are interested in your owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you that. The owner's manual is the best health assessment on the planet. All we need is a birthday. Not a blood type, not a blood sample, not a hair sample, stool sample, urine sample. We don't need that little culture from that little live culture from that nasty bump down there. We don't need that. All we need is your birthday. Mama Nature will do the rest. Okay? For $50. All right? Health is not just having both red blood cells and white blood cells. It's having them both in balance. Okay? When your red blood cells is weak and when your white blood cells is high, you're still prone to both of these because that will create you having both of these issues, inflammation and infection. Okay? Low energy, chronic stress. When your red blood cells is strong and when your white blood cell is balanced, that's when you got vitality. That's when you got resilience. That's when you got efficient healing coming into your body. Is when the red blood cells are strong and the white blood cells is balanced. That's when you're in homeostasis. Okay? All right? Your red blood cells is the flow. It's the oxygen, it's the circulation, it's the movement. Your white blood cells is the defense. It's the protection, the response. You got to know the difference between the two. Some inflammations are there to heal you. Not everything is there to hurt you. But you got to understand the two. Because when your flow is low, okay, when your flow is low, what you think happens over here? When you have a low flow, what you think happens over here? Does it increase or decrease? When you have a low flow, red blood cells equal flow. When you have a low flow, does the white blood cells increase or decrease? You got to keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to wait on you. Check my YouTubers out. They probably already answered that one. When you have a low flow, when you have low red blood count, does the white blood cell count increase or decrease? Who said what? Thank you, lovely. Thank you, lovely. Y'all go and follow lovely, okay? It increases. When your red blood cell count is low, your white blood cell, your defense, okay, your immunity, let me say it that way, your defense will increase. Okay? It will increase. So then what is the remedy? To strengthen your red blood cells and balance out the white blood cells. Everybody get that. What is the remedy? Somebody put it in the chat. Red blood cells is strong. White blood cells is balanced. That's the remedy. Now you just put that in the herbs. How do you make your red blood cells strong? What herbs? Sarsaparilla, okay? Japanese chlorella, all right? Burdock root, red root, okay? Red clover, red raspberry, Arjuna bark, hawthorn berry, cayenne pepper, anything red. All the herbs I just named to you was reddish. Then you have your yellows, right? Your berberine is in your yellows, your orange grapefruit, your golden seal, right? Your barberry root, barberry. The yellowish tint is going to be the berberine. That's good for the blood sugar. So now I got something good for the blood pressure, red herbs. I got something good for the blood sugar, yellow herbs. Okay, now we're back to the red boat, the reading rainbow. Roy G. Bill, red, orange, yellow, blue, green, indigo, and violet. The chakra colors. You get all of this in your owner's manual. Your birthday will allow us to know all this stuff, to give you the right food colors that got the right phytonutrients in it. That's also going to be associated with your owner's manual, but also with the whole thing. So we know exactly what to do, right? Make the red blood cells strong. Now, how do we balance out our white blood cells? Some of you guys don't know nothing but immune boosters. How many people have ever heard of immune boosters? Put a 2 in the chat. If you've ever heard of the term immune booster, put a 2 in the chat. Really quick. Really quick. Have you ever heard of an immune booster? Right? That's the terminology that most of us understand and know. That's what they already, get you some calcium, get you some vitamin C in the pack. It says immune booster, right? But if I just told you that so allergies is overactive. How many people got allergies? Put some ones in the chat. Allergies means that you have an overactive immunity. Okay, so if you're dealing with allergies, put some ones in the chat. If you're dealing with autoimmunity, put some 3s in the chat. If you know somebody dealing with autoimmunity and you're here on their behalf, put some 3s in the chat. So we got 1s, people that's dealing with allergies. If you're dealing with autoimmunities, put 3s in the chat. Okay. So if your disease has been called immunity, you can have fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis. There's a plethora of diabetes type 3. There's a lot of different autoimmune diseases. Okay. So now 1 and 3. So that means that your immune system is overactive. Okay. That means that it's overactive. Right? That's what we're talking about. So if you just told me to balance it, why would I boost already overactivity? How many people have taken immune boosters that's dealing with allergies and autoimmune disease? Put some twos in the chat if you've ever taken something that says immune booster, even though I just explained this to you. Allergies mean overactive. Autoimmune mean overactive. Now go in your medicine cabinet or go look. Are you taking immune boosters? Put twos in the chat. I know a lot of us do. I was doing the same thing. If the medicine you taking or for whatever the allergies are, if you're taking vitamin C, if you're taking all this stuff, you're taking immune boosters. Now, you should not be boosting an overactive immune system. So there's another one, and it's called immunomodulator. Right? Now, this is the one that you need for white blood cell balance. You need the immunomodulator. Okay, somebody put that in the chat for me. Immunomodulator. Okay, IMMUNOMODULATOR. Immunomodulator. If you're dealing with allergies or autoimmune diseases, you need to get immunomodulators. Yes, you need to have immunomodulators. These are the ones that are going to help you balance out. So now I just gave you that. I gave you herbs for the RBC. I gave you the terminology you need for the white blood cells. You can do your own research. They come in mushrooms. They come in all kind of other herbs. Now, but you just needed the terminology. Now you can say herbs that are immunomodulators. That's all it is. Y'all don't know what to put in that goddamn Google. Well, I'm going to show you. All right? I'm going to show you what to do. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. But instead of you having to do all of this, you guys, we're doing it for you with your birthday, okay? For that little funky measly $50 you're holding on to, we can get this to you in a twink of an eye for you to be able to know exactly what some of the stuff that you need, all right? So you must understand that poor circulation, right? Poor circulation is going to affect which one of these? The red blood cell or the white blood cell or both? Both, right? Poor circulation is going to be also leading to waste buildup, all right? Poor circulation is going to lead to waste buildup, stagnation, okay? That clogging, that obstruction, that dam, so to speak, in your waters. Waste buildup is going to lead to some immune activation, because when waste and toxicity is there, then guess what? That's going to cause inflammatory actions, because guess what? Toxins are acidic. So they start to corrode if they stay in one place too long. They start to eat away at tissue, at organ, at cell. And over time, it'll kill the body system that all of those things belong to. So poor circulation leads to waste buildup. Waste buildup leads to immune activation. And then when you got that immune activation, if it ain't going nowhere, it becomes inflammatory. That's why you feel the pain. Okay? So when you're getting your comprehensive metabolic panel from your doctor, you need to know what this stuff means. And most people today have poor blood flow. This means that your RBC function is compromised. And you have an overactive defense system, which means that your white blood cells are too high. That's most of us. That's why we're dealing with these issues. And the reason why is because we don't move as much as we need to. So we live in this sedentary lifestyles. We don't breathe as good as we understand. I told you that it's because of your posture that you can deal with a lot of this stuff. Your posture. Sitting still, you wasn't meant to sit still. You were made for outside. You wasn't meant to sit still, and you was made for outside. The only time you was meant to sit still is when the sun went down. Okay, so that lack of movement during the day hours, and then you ain't doing shit when the sun set either. You got a whole day full of you ain't doing shit but eating. You got a whole day full of you burning a little gas, but you put a full tank in. That little brain time that you using for that computer, it's okay, but it ain't nothing like gardening and getting out here and having to be on aware all the time. See, you're not aware in your office, you're protected. So you're not on full blown, full scale onslaught energy brain on peasy. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because you're not in an atmosphere where your brain got to be on peasy like that. You're just focused, but you're not, the peripheral is turned off. But when you work outside, you on like a light bulb. Everything is on. The brain got to do everything it got to do, so you exude more energy because you got to do what? Move and protect at the same time. So when we're sitting in these sedentary postures, that lack of movement is causing poor oxygenation. That poor oxygenation is also leading to the stress hormones that are being produced within us. That's going to continue to fester into a toxic load that then creates the poor environment. And then we all know that environment is going to influence the life of the cell. And so the body is just constantly fighting because it's never flowing. Okay? So the herbs that you get in your owner's manual, you guys, when we teach you about these 12 herbs, we got herbs in there that's going to help support that blood flow, like nettle and Irish moss and bladderwrack and horsetail and burdock root. Okay, we got herbs in there that's gonna help out with the white blood cells, like yellow dock and skullcap and blue vervain. Okay, so you get all of this in your owner's manual for that little funky measly $50, right? Also, we show you about the non-herb medicine, right? Another thing that helps improve red blood cells is sunlight, proper breathing, movement helps improve your red blood cell count. Non-herb medicine that helps your white blood cells be balanced is reducing your stress, getting enough sleep, emotional release. We teach you all of this in your damn owner's manual. Right? It's not a book, it's the book on you. Everything comes from your birthday. Okay? So the final understanding of this, you guys, is that the red blood cells is going to be conducive to how I'm flowing in life. Okay? It's how I'm flowing in life. And if I got a problem, the problem is probably going to be low energy first. You start feeling low energy, you start feeling lethargic, you start feeling fatigued, you start feeling tired all the time. And when you start feeling tired, you get tired in the body and tired in the mind. And see, a tired mind cannot reason well. It can't put it together. It can't architect its way out of the maze. So it's okay to express, but we don't want to suppress. The white blood cells is your defense. The problem with that is inflammation. When you start getting so much stuff going on in the body, you'll start to cause a suppression of your own immune system. It's not supposed to be on like that, especially not in an inflammatory, chronic inflammatory environment. Will just kill the immune system. Okay? Your blood will tell you the story, but you don't have to be microscopic. Your blood can tell me the story just based on your birthday. Okay? Just a simple birthday will tell us the story about you. Simple birthday. Any questions? Any questions thus far? You guys are missing a lot of this in the HerbMan school. I got a lot of students that are going to be learning this more in depth. But this is what we do, baby. This is what we do in order for you to understand that it's in your birthday. Okay? It's in your birthday. And if you can understand iron, understand how to get iron, understand the principle behind these three: iron, zinc, and copper. If you can understand the biology behind these three, you can start to really get some healing going on in the body. Iron is the center of your hemoglobin. It's the molecule that carries the oxygen. Without iron, oxygen cannot bind properly to the other cells, creating that combustion that you need for ATP. Without iron, blood cannot deliver energy, which is the food, the nutrients. Without iron, cells cannot function optimally. Iron. What iron controls is your oxygen transport, is your energy production, is your red blood cell formation. That's what iron controls. And when you got low iron, you start feeling pain, brain fog, shortness of breath, fatigue, dizziness. When you got low iron. Okay? Zinc. Zinc is critical for your immune cell development. It is critical for immune signaling, wound healing, defense coordination. And what zinc controls is white blood cell production, immune response balance, and inflammation regulator is your zinc. You got to know how to get these in food, though. We can show you how with your owner's manual. And when you have low zinc, you got a weak immune system. You got frequent illnesses. You heal slow. You have skin issues. All because you don't know nothing about how to eat your zinc, how to eat your iron, how to eat your copper. Zinc is what allows the body to defend with intelligence. The balance. The balance is flow and defense. Transport. And defense. You got to have enough iron to move life. And you got to have enough zinc to protect it. Too much iron will cause oxidative stress, inflammation, and toxic overload. Too much zinc will cause suppression of the copper. And that's going to disrupt the balance. Okay? So you don't want too much zinc because it starts messing with your copper. All right? And so you got the oxygen and the energy here. Oxy and energy is in your iron. My immunity is in the zinc. But the balance and the regulation comes from The copper. Everybody get that? Iron is going to move it. Zinc will protect it. Copper will balance it. Everybody get that? Put some ones in the chat if you get it. So again, in your owner's manual, herbs like nettles and Irish moss and bladderwrack and burdock root and these herbs that we blessed thistle, these are the herbs that give you the right iron, especially blessed thistle. It gives you the right iron, the iron phosphate. Okay? The right zinc is going to come in the burdock, the yellow dock. The blessed thistle also gives you the right zinc. All these herbs come in your owner's manual. Okay? They're all based on your birthday. So we know how to indirectly do what we need to do with just the birthday. So we don't need to be microscopic and take a blood test. We're already taking it with your birthday. If your energy is low, check your what? Out of these three, if your energy is getting low, check your what, you guys. Let me see if you're paying attention. If your energy is low, check your what? Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Correct. If you keep getting sick, check your what? If you just keep getting cold and flu and allergies and just keep getting sick all the time, get hot flashes, cold flashes, just always sick, come down with some snotty nose, sinuses running, you need to check your zinc. Thank you, guys. Okay? Thank you for listening. This is how you teach. All right? And this is the understanding of a really good teacher because everybody knows the answers. Okay? And if you got both of them messed up, if you getting tired and you getting sick, if both are off, which one do you do? Thank you, Jason. I know everybody's gonna be scared of that one, Jason. So you came off the top. You was ready for it. Okay, copper. If they both are off, you need some copper to balance it. So how are they going to be off? Remember that I told you, when iron is up, right? Or let me put it the way that we said it the first time so we don't confuse you. Okay? If your iron is low, what happens to the white blood cell? If the iron is low, what happens to the WBC? Okay, so we know that your so we know that your is going to increase. Okay. This is sickness. This is both of them. Listen to me. This is both of them. What do I do for both of them? Which one of these do I do for both of them? This is both of them. I got low iron and I got increased white blood cells. What do I do with both of them? Copper. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now y'all are getting it. And you can't do this inorganically. So no, I'm not saying go down there to CVS, Walgreens, go to Publix. You can't go get this in a capsule. You can't go get it in the capsule. You can't go get that in no capsule, cuz it's gonna take you too long. It's gonna take you too long to get here trying to get this in capsules, trying to get this in inorganics. If you get it in your daily diet, this is where you're going to be coming home. Okay? This is when you're going to be coming home. All right? And ain't no such thing as organically, but I get what you're trying to say. Only way it's organic is if you grew it or it grow by itself. That's the only way. Okay? So where can I get it? Please, can you tell me the foods or herbs? Yes, Alaya, you can get it if you just DM us and get your owner's manual. Okay? Everything that I'm talking about is in your owner's manual. We do it for you. All we need is your birthday. What about swamps? What about swamps? Can you get herbs from the swamps? Yeah, if you pay attention to the area, the environment that you buying the herb from. So if you buy herb from the swamp, what would be that? What diseases would that herb be good for? If you find the herb by water, it's most likely going to be good for drying situations. So if you find herbs that grow by water, they're more better for drying conditions, dehydration of the skin. You see what I'm saying? Ulcers, arthritis type of issues, something that's drying out. All right, a drying condition. What herbs I get from the river, the herbs by the lake, the herbs by the swamp. These herbs, because we're finding them in watery places, they're going to be good for hot or dry conditions. Okay, Constance, get your owner's manual for $50. Okay, I do your birthday. If not, you can send me a unicorn on here, and a unicorn will get you your owner's manual as well. Okay. So somebody said, where do I find foods with copper? And again, you just got to go Google this stuff. Most of your copper is going to come in your nuts or in your seeds. Okay? Your nuts and your seeds. You can do sunflower. You can do sesame. Okay? And you can just start looking down that alley, and you'll be able to see a lot of this stuff, okay, as well. Cashews and almonds and a lot of those little nuts and stuff also have them, but you just got to find the right one that fits you and fits your digestive system and stuff that you like to eat, okay? Anybody else? Before we ride up out of here today, I didn't want to be on here long, but I definitely wanted to come strong today. Any questions? Yes, Constant, just go to the website and type in owner's manual or just manual, and it'll come up for you, and you'll have everything you need at your disposal. Okay? If you guys are interested in the herbs that come with this stuff, then you just go to the website and type in blueprint, okay? Foundational blueprint bundle. That way you get your consultation, your owner's manual, and the herbs off the bat. And therefore, you ain't got to be looking at it like, okay, I got it, but what do I do with it? Yeah, you needed the herbs with it too. Okay? You needed the herbs with it too, right? So, got to understand those things. I just told you the herbs is in your owner's manual. Okay? So, we just went through a lot of those herbs that'll help you balance out both of these things. There's way more herbs as well that you guys can go and look up yourself. But a lot of these herbs got iron in it. There's so many herbs with iron, and I just can't name them. There's so many herbs with zinc in it, right? Or that does what that you're trying to do with zinc. Remember that some of you guys don't need boosters. Some of you need immunomodulation. So you have to determine, is my issue overactive or not? So I just told you what creates an overactive immune system, or which one is considered overactive. Allergies, if you're dealing with allergies, and autoimmune diseases. So that's an umbrella full of stuff. So that means that you don't need immune boosting, you need immune modulating. Okay? So what you can do for that particular thing is the mushroom kingdom. Mushrooms are very good. So reishi, maitake, shiitake, stay right there and you good. Maitake, shiitake, and reishi is good for the zinc thing. The website is loveherbman.com. Okay. If you send a unicorn, you get your birthday done, Muffy. Otherwise, go to the website and get your owner's manual. Any questions about your red blood cell and white blood cell count? How many people got their comprehensive metabolic panel? Okay, recently from the doctor. Let's say within the last 6 months. If you've been to the doctor and did you do your CMP? Right, the CMP is the comprehensive metabolic panel. We call it the CMP. Okay, comprehensive metabolic panel. It says my red blood cells are slightly high. Okay, so now we know what that means now, right? Baby girl, you got yours. You can just let us know what it's saying when it comes to some of this stuff. Today I go. Okay, cool. Yep. Let us know what you get when that comprehensive metabolic panel. If you got elevated iron, then we already know that means what? Inflammatory issues, right? Inflammatory issues. So we got to be careful with these elevated iron levels, okay? If you got low iron, green apples are very good for the young ladies, okay? Red raspberry is very good. Red raspberry is a herb that young ladies should be drinking periodically as soon as they start their cycles, okay? So 12, 13, 11, however that age is, you really should be on red raspberry. It will lessen the contractions, lessen all of the PMSing, and you can have an ordinary, flow without having a lot of this irregularity. All right. So you want to do that early on, though, but you could do it even if you got issues now and you're just trying to rectify some things, especially if you're trying to, have a baby, this, that, and the third, or whatever. Get on that red raspberry. I know y'all tired of the PMSing anyway, so get on the red raspberry. You don't just need it for a baby. It's good for your cycles throughout your cycle time. Okay. Mushrooms is going to be good. Remember that we talked about the comb system, right? The comb, cabbage sprouts, onion sprouts, mushrooms, okay, and broccoli sprouts, right? So the mushrooms have always been good for immune issues, infections, stuff like that. So intake copper for high RBCs. No. If all you got is an iron problem, right? That's all you really got. So what I'm saying is if you got both of these, you don't have low iron, you got high iron, right? So remember that this is sickness, okay? Let me do this one. Okay, let me do this one. So that this is going to answer your question. Okay? So, if my red blood cell count is strong, all I got to do is balance out my white blood cell count. And this is health. This is health. The other one was sickness or inflammatory pain. This is health. Listen to what I'm saying. The other one was sick and pain. This is health. So when you're looking at your comprehensive metabolic panel, do I got strong red blood cell? So you got a high one. Okay? So if yours too high, we got to make it strong, but not high. We got to make your white blood cell balanced, but not too strong or too weak. So how do I balance out the immune system is immunomodulators. The mushrooms, immunomodulator to balance out. Mushrooms also carry copper. immune, right? The mushrooms to balance out, and then now all I got to do is lower the blood pressure. Lower the red blood cell count. I want to make it strong, but it doesn't need to be high. Okay? This is health. Everybody get that? Manissa, did you get that? This is the remedy for health. Red blood cells strong. So mine high, I need to make them strong, but not high. I need to make sure that my white blood cell count is balanced, and then that is going to create the health in me. Did you get it? Did you get it? No, you still didn't get it. You're still looking at one thing. It's two sides to this, okay? There's two sides to it, so you still didn't get it. All you're looking for is answers. Y'all need to learn how to learn. Y'all need to learn how to research and learn. You're just looking for answers. You got to learn how to learn. That's the problem. A lot of you are so busy trying to teach a motherfucker something, you don't know how to learn no more. Okay? How I got this is how you need to get it, by learning it, not by me giving you anything. You learn it. And I just sat here and told you, this stuff, you got to look at it's both sides. So I just gave you the answer to this one, but what you going to do to lower your blood? What you going to do to lower your red blood cell count? You ignored that and just said, oh, okay, I just need immunomodulation. No. If your red blood cells are too high, you need to make them strong, not high. So that means I got to do something to this side too. Now, what you going to do to lower your red blood cell count? See? So you would still been half-assed and that wouldn't have worked. And you would have came back to me to myself, I tried it, but you said, no, motherfucker, it's how you listening and how you're learning. I ain't said shit. I made sure that you understand there's two sides. These two sides equals health. This can't be too high or too low. It has to be strong. This can't be too high or too low. It has to be balanced. So you take the word strong and balanced, and then you look at your comprehensive metabolic panel and you ask yourself, is my red blood cell count strong? And is my white blood cell count balanced? And if that's a yes and a yes to that, you healthy as a sunbit. Okay? You healthy as the health outside drinking that cow's milk out there. All right? You're healthy. This equals health. Okay? Now, the only other thing other than the white blood cell, the red blood cell thing that you need to know, and then you can also get this cell count in your regular blood test. So you don't have to do a comprehensive metabolic panel to get your regular blood test, okay? But the comprehensive metabolic panel, you're going to want to know the GFR, right? The glomerular filtration rate. It's going to have a little number up under there, right? That 90 lets me know that I'm at a stage 1. So I got good kidneys, I got good red blood cell, good white blood cell count. Boy, we going good. Boy, we doing good. Boy, we doing good. And so when you're going and getting these from your doctor, that's all you got to be looking at is some of these things right here to say to yourself real simple. I might not know all of the jargon on here. I might not know everything about everything or what everything means. But I know that brother told me that I need to make sure that my RBCs are strong, not too high, not too low. I need to make sure that my white blood cell count is balanced, not too high, not too low. This is strong, this is balanced. And when I can look at it, I can determine, yes, I got a strong red blood cell count. Okay, and then boom. Well, how do you know you got a strong red blood cell count? Again, it's going to be leaning toward the high end, but it ain't high. It's strong. If it's balanced, it's strong. If your red blood cell count is balanced, it's strong. If it's leaning toward the high end, but it ain't out of the high end, that's strong. You'll know that. Your white blood cell count, your neutrophils, your basophils, your eosinophils, your monocytes, all of that stuff is on your blood test when you get them. All of it is on your blood test when you get them. If you guys need help with this, you get your owner's manual for 50 little bucks there, and let me go over your blood test and the owner's manual with you to show you that it's all saying the same thing. And we didn't even have to invade and intrude into your blood to understand this and get this. Okay? Any other questions about this stuff? So now how many people can categorize their issue? What's the name of the book? It is not a book, Muffy. It's the book on you. It's called the Owner's Manual. Okay? I don't write books. I do not write books. I am not an author. It is a health assessment on you based on your birthday, Muffy. It is a health assessment based on your birthday. Okay? Yes, it is a health assessment based on your birthday, and it's called the Owner's Manual. Okay? And the owner's manual, any kind of owner's manual that you go purchase, Muffin, whether it be a new refrigerator, a new car, a new hair blower, a new cell phone, it'll come with a little owner's manual, a little booklet in there. And that owner's manual is derived to give you three things. Okay. It's meant for you to get the longevity out of that piece of equipment. It's also meant for you to understand the usage of that piece of equipment. And the owner's manual is also going to help you try to optimize the performance of that piece of equipment. So you get longevity, usage, and performance out of a owner's manual, and yours is no different. You're going to learn how to get the longevity out of this life experience through your owner's manual. You're going to learn how to utilize stuff about you that you probably didn't know you got, or stuff that you've been using, right? You get the most usage out of your life experience. Okay. And then it's also going to show you how to get the optimal performance out of this experience that you can based on your birthday. Mama knows best. And so your birthday is your tagline into this particular paradigm, right? And everybody got it, and that's why we need it. Okay, we need this more than anything. Well, I should have came with that at birth. Yes, it's your original birthday. You are correct. You are correct. That's why we're exposing this information. It's not a discovery, it's a rediscovery. It's the oldest way we used to do things, and it's based on your birthday. It is your birth certificate. Look, I tell people this all the time. What is the significance of the Jesus Christ story? What is the significance of the Jesus Christ story? They talked about Christ before he was even here. The Old Testament, the testament was old, the old way they testified about a coming, because they knew something about a birth. They knew something about a seasonal change. They knew something about a climate change, something about the nature that was going to change. Okay. And that date of birth, that date that climate was going to change. Okay. That, and climate just doesn't mean something figuratively, but it also means something literally. That the day the Messiah, the day that this change of weather comes in, this change of climate comes in, it means it'll change mindsets, it'll change people forever, it'll change climate, and environment influences everything under it, right? The environment produces the plants, the animals, and the humans that live under it. So Christ is something that is like a weather pattern. It's like a seismic shift. It's a climate change. And so when Christ came, it changed the environment. And when it changed the environment, it influences the plants, the animals, and the humans in that particular thing. And that happened on a particular day, on a particular time, in a particular season. And so therefore that birth date is the time that you came in, and there were some environmental influences on that day that are conducive to why you act the way you do the things you do, say the things you say, and be the person that you are. And did you not know that those things are the ones influencing your health as it is today? And not only your health just in the physical, but in the emotional, the spiritual, and the mental. The owner's manual is showing you how this stuff was supposed to be like. It's time out for people that just know herbs, but have never put their hands on a grew them, never understood anything. It's time out for people who claim to know this about love and know this about money, and they broke and they divorced, and how they gonna help you when they can't help them. It is time. If a person keep telling you that they can put some money spells on you, they need to be a billionaire. If a person tell you that they can take a love spell off of you, they need to be married for 50 years. It is time out for us to be trying to get folk, buy stuff from folk when they ain't even the model of their own shit. You ain't even modeling yourself. You ain't modeling it yourself. How are we gonna get it done? The owner's manual, the blueprint. That's how you get it done. Thank you, L Boogie. Thank you. The blueprint is how you're gonna get it done. The owner's manual is how you're gonna get it done. Once you get that understanding that it's a compass and a calculator, and it's gonna give you these coordinates and these tendencies, now you can start to chart your own course without life being such a mistake-driven experience, bumping your head all the way up into your 70s and 80s. Okay? There it is right there, preacher, man. Yes, we're in the age of knowing. Yes, that's why we're getting exposed to it. That's what the HerbMan School is all about. Exposing my people to the real truth, to the real truth. And the real truth is more intuitive than it is intellectual. Okay? The real truth is more intuitive than it is intellectual. The real truth. The truth that you're seeking, the truth that you're trying to find, you're going to have to find it through your intuitive skills. It won't happen through your intellect, because intellect means that you done heard it before. You done seen it before. You done felt it before. You done so intellect, it ain't going to ever, a new thing ain't something that you've experienced before. So the truth is a new thing. You ain't heard it before. The truth is a new thing. You ain't heard that before. And you're going to have to learn how to use your intuition for that truth. Otherwise, you're going to continue to be deceived. Okay? Yo. I'm in the back. What up? What's going on, people? What's going on, people? I know who you is. Okay? Any other questions thus far? So you went in, you got your comprehensive metabolic panel. You went and got your blood test. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Okay? Is your white blood cell count balanced? Is your red blood cell count strong? Then you're healthy. Okay? You went and got your blood test. You went and got your comprehensive metabolic panel. Okay, cool. Is your red blood cell count strong? Is your white blood cell count balanced? You're healthy. Okay? Everybody get that? Now, if your red blood cell count is low and your white blood cell count is high, you sick, or you either got some kind of pain. Okay? You sick or you either got some kind of pain. So when you're looking at that wording, these are the places that you go to. Okay? Iron phosphate is what you need. Zinc is what you need. Copper is what you need in order to have the trifecta. All right? That's it. That's all I wanted to teach you guys today. All right? We are back in the motherland. So I wasn't going to make it long today, but I definitely wanted to make it strong. Let you guys know that we are back and we are still shipping these herbs out every single day. So don't think because I'm over here in Africa that you can't get your herbs, because yes, ma'am, you get them. Yes, sir, you can get him. You can get him, okay? We got all kinds of herbs, you guys, and you can cook them in all different types of ways, okay? So if something is not working for you, we can give you another way of cooking it. All kinds of stuff that we do here to help you understand the effectiveness of herbs. If you're not effective, then you ain't doing it right. Okay? You ain't doing it right. Thank you. Yes. All right. Anybody else got any other questions before we head up out of here? Thank you guys for the 86,000 likes. All right. Thank you for the 86,000 likes. I know that if I stayed on another 30 minutes that you guys would give me my 100K. But I know that I don't need to do that because y'all got it today. Y'all get it today, okay? If you need anything from us, you can email us at all times, okay? If you need to call us for your consultations, if you got a blueprint, if you got your owner's manual, okay? The owner's manual is just the health assessment by itself. The blueprint is the health assessment and the herbs that come along with your health assessment, okay? Best life so far, amazing knowledge. Thank you very much. Okay. So that's the difference. I know a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between the blueprint and the owner's manual? You just get the owner's manual. Okay. That doesn't make it any less of something, but you just don't get the products in your hand, right? You don't get the herbs, but it's okay. You can get them from anybody. My kidney pains me. Okay, so we just talked to you about that, right? So now if you go back, Nahiri, not Hyri, Angela, okay, I don't know these names like that, but if you have inflammatory kidney issues, okay, inflammatory kidney issues, we just told you about it. So now you got to look at the kidneys, the lungs, and the heart. So my next question is, do you have problems breathing? Okay, do you have problems breathing? Do you have shallow breathing? Do you find yourself getting out of breath, shortness of breath? Nahari? She said, yes, sir. Okay, so now okay, no problem with breathing. Okay, so you ain't got no problem with breathing, just basically got kidney pains. Now, my next question to you is going to be, how do you know your kidneys have a pain? Are you talking about you got low back pain? Or you finna try to tell me something that the doctor told you? Please don't be offended by these questions, but I got to know how in the hell you know your kidney got pain. So you're experiencing back pain? Yeah, you just go to the website, type in manual. You type in manual and it's PayPal, bro. You can just pay it from the website. Yeah, you just get the blueprint, Muffy. You don't need both of them. You get the blueprint, and that's the all-in-one. Happens after drinking water. No, no, no. I'm saying, how do you what happens after you drink water? Your back pain? How you know it's your kidneys hurting? I've never heard of somebody that knows their kidneys are hurting. You're either gonna get some back pain or something like that. How you know it's your kidneys is what I'm saying. Where does it hurt on you? I know they probably have a hard time trying to understand what I'm saying. But you see what we're saying? Like, how in the hell you know it's your kidneys hurting? So you're either gonna get it through back pain, you're either gonna get it through shortness of breath, you're either gonna see dark urine. Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you. No, you're not gonna have no kidney. No, that's yes, that future scalper. That's correct, right? You're not gonna feel it that way. I'm telling you, you're gonna feel it through back pain, dark urine, drowsiness. You feel it through weight gain, bloody urine, high blood pressure, shortness of breath. That's how you feel kidney inflammation, right? So that's why I'm asking, how do you know is that? Okay, she said back pain, not lower back pain. Okay, back pain. Okay, that's cool. Now I know that you're feeling the back pain. Okay, all right, so that's cool. So basically, what you would need to do is you would need something to help out with the inflammation. So if inflammation is causing a immune response, there's probably already going to be some 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 um some mucus there, or some uh what we like to call a whole lot of fluids, put it like that, is already going to be around that spot because it's already inflamed. Okay, one of the herbs that is in your owner's manual is called nettles. Stinging nettles helps out with nephritis. Okay, if you don't know what nephritis is inflammation of the kidney, pain in the kidney. Okay, so but you would, if you try to get it on your own, you would need a certain kind of stinging nettle, which would be in the seeds. And I don't know if they sell stinging nettle seeds where you at, but you need the seeds. But if you get the owner's manual, we get you everything that you need. Okay, all right. So I helped you out right there. Anybody else, really quick before we get up out of here? Thank you for the 100K. Anybody else before we get up out of here? Will supplement Will supplements do until I get the real iron, zinc, and copper? No. Nah, don't even get yourself on that. Ain't no need even trying fake. Okay? Ain't no need even trying fake. You see what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna never tell y'all yes to that. Ain't no need to even try and fake. Okay? So just figure out what you can get this in your foods. Way before you get them in your herbs, just Google foods high in iron, foods high in zinc, foods high in copper. I told y'all don't know how to learn. We gotta teach you how to learn. We gotta teach you how to research. Y'all like asking questions instead of asking the questions. You see what I'm saying? You want to just get these answers, but you need to research. Okay? The first thing I would do is when I'm listening to a brother like me, I wouldn't even have to get him to tell me. He already telling me everything. I'm already telling you everything. So I would automatically took iron, zinc, and copper and been like, what foods got? What foods got? What foods got? What herbs got? What herbs got? What herbs got? What's the food colors that got? What's the food? I would have automatically been on point. Okay? I don't need for a person to tell me everything. You just give me a little something and I'm gone. I'm gone. You see what I'm saying? I'm gone. Just give me a little something, pimp, and I'm gone. I ain't finna sit there and listen to y'all all day. I just need the keys. I know how to ask the questions. Isn't the food and soil depleted? No, it's not. It's not. It's just about what you are choosing. So you're choosing the foods that are depleted. That don't mean that all food in the soil is depleted. That's just what you're choosing. You have been programmed to eat certain food. If you look at your weekly diet, okay, all of our weekly diets are alike. Okay, and it don't matter where you at, you're eating this. If you're a vegan, you're still eating the same foods most of this week. Okay, and mostly on the same days. You'll find yourself at Chick-fil-A every Thursday without even knowing it. You'll find yourself cooking spaghetti every Wednesday without even thinking about it. You'll find yourself eating lemon pepper on Friday, a pizza on Saturday. If you don't sit there, you'll find yourself cooking Sunday dinner, and you'll start all the way back over again. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you're a vegan or vegetarian or pescatarian or if you're a carnivorous or whatever you are. It'll be the same foods, same days, week in and week out. And because of that, your food, your food is depleted. But if you open up your palate and you go local, your food won't be depleted. The diet is what's killing you because it's too isolated. 8 billion people on the planet only eating 200 foods. There's 200 foods groups. There are 200 foods that are actually feeding 8 billion people. All of us is eating chicken, lamb, pork, beef. We're all eating the same fruits and vegetables for the most part across the globe. That food, yes, is depleted, but that ain't nothing but 200 foods. So that ain't nothing but a little bit of portion of the food that nature really has out here for us. So again, it's the foods you choosing, but it ain't the foods it ain't the foods. All the foods are not depleted. The ones you're choosing. Okay. Anybody else? So the environment hasn't depleted the soil. No. If that was the case, then trees would be falling over. Nobody's planting the trees on the side of the highway. When you're driving down the side of your highway, you see all them trees. If nature was depleting anything, they would be falling the freak over. They're not falling over. We are bulldozing them over for extra roads and extra accesses and extra highways and byways. But if you didn't bulldoze them over, they'll live longer than you. So that's how you know if Earth is depleted. When you're looking at the natural indigenous things to the Earth, they are still growing and still going. It's you that is doing it. Okay. So no, the environment hasn't depleted anything until you start seeing less and less of those highway trees growing. Okay, growing. If they stop growing, nature is starting to deplete itself. If things from nature stop growing, pine trees, all these indigenous trees that we see on the side of the highway. Okay, that's how you look at stuff. That's how you look at nature. You gotta look at what you ain't put your hands on. That's the side of the highway. That's when you go to the mountains and you're looking out your cabin. When you start seeing them trees still growing, Mama Nature's still fertile. You just don't know what you're doing. That makes sense. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Again, I didn't want to make this video long, but I definitely want to make it strong. I do appreciate all 100,000 you guys. I will be back on tomorrow, same bat time, same bat place. Show up, and I'm gonna show out. We appreciate all the love, man. We love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Until next time, love HerbMan. Peace. Peace, 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 man. We appreciate all the love, you guys. Y'all keep on growing with us as we continue to keep doing this movement, man. This thing is awesome. Again, if you guys got questions or any kind of concerns about products you got, products that you are interested in, please DM us or email us, and we will get back in contact with you at our earliest convenience. Again, we thank you, we love you, and we appreciate you guys. And I want you to regulate yourself on the way out. Regulate yourself on the way out. All I wanna do is here. Oh yeah. All I wanna do is here. Thank you. All I want is to hear. We're gonna do one little last hum. All I want to do is peace, heal. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace. Yes, sir. Peace. Yes, sir.